There are moments in life when silence seems to break, and something greater than yourself whispers into your spirit. It does not sound like ordinary thought, nor does it resemble the fleeting words of men. It is a call, a reminder that you were never an accident wandering aimlessly through time. From the very beginning, before your first breath entered your lungs, heaven marked you with purpose. You are not simply here to survive, to work, to eat, to sleep, and then to vanish like dust in the wind. No, your existence carries weight, a sacred design written before the foundation of the world. This awakening is not meant to flatter you, nor to entertain your curiosity. It is a warning and a promise. The warning that if you live without recognizing this divine assignment, no matter how successful the world deems you, life will feel hollow and incomplete. The promise that when you align yourself with the reason you were sent, every struggle, every tear, and every battle begins to make sense. The storms you endure are not meaningless. The strange heaviness you carry, even in quiet hours, is not coincidence. It is heaven's way of reminding you that you are chosen. In ancient times, prophets and messengers trembled when they realized they were set apart. They understood that being chosen is not a crown of comfort, but a mantle of responsibility. And today, you stand in the same line of calling. You were sent, not to be swallowed by the noise of this age, but to shine as proof that eternity has touched the earth. Let this truth sink deep into your heart. You are not here by chance. You are heaven's messenger in human form, carrying a task that no one else can complete. The world may overlook you, but heaven watches closely, waiting for you to awaken and embrace the reason you were born. From the earliest days of youth, society whispers a narrative into our ears, that happiness is found in applause, that dignity is measured in possessions, that purpose is proven by titles written on paper. We are told that the path to fulfillment lies in climbing ladders built by men and gathering treasures that shine for a moment and then fade into dust. Yet history, again and again, has shown us the same bitter truth. Crowns of gold eventually tarnish, fame withers like grass, and wealth slips through fingers like water. What remains once the lights are turned off and the voices of praise have fallen silent? The illusion of earthly success is powerful because it feeds our pride. To be admired, to be envied, to feel important. These are cravings hidden deep within the human heart. But those who spend their lives chasing such mirages often discover, at the end of the journey, an emptiness they cannot silence. They have houses but no peace, recognition but no rest, followers but no direction. It is as though they built castles on sand, impressive from a distance, but destined to crumble at the first touch of eternity's tide. True success cannot be measured by numbers, applause, or possessions. It is measured only by faithfulness, whether you remained faithful to the design placed in your soul before you even knew your own name. The world celebrates achievement, but heaven celebrates obedience. The world exalts those who build empires. Heaven honors those who complete their assignments, even if no crowd ever notices. Look closely at the lives of those who seem to have it all. How many stories end with loneliness, regret, or despair, despite the trophies they once displayed? Contrast that with those who lived quietly yet faithfully, who poured themselves into the purpose God gave them. Their legacy endures, because it is not carved in stone or in wealth, but in eternity. So, chosen one, do not be deceived. Do not trade eternal purpose for temporary applause. Do not confuse the glitter of success with the light of destiny. For when you stand before heaven's throne, the question will not be, were you admired? But rather, were you faithful? The enemy of your soul rarely comes with horns and fire. More often, he wears the mask of opportunity, convenience, or pleasure. He knows he cannot erase what heaven has written. The assignment sealed over your life is beyond his reach. But he can whisper, distract, and entice you until your eyes turn away from the very thing that gives your existence meaning. His weapon is not always destruction, it is diversion. Think of it carefully. A soldier may survive a battlefield wound, recover, and fight again. But a soldier who spends his days wandering aimlessly, distracted by trivial pursuits, will never even step onto the field. That is the enemy's plan for you. He does not always need to attack directly. If he can keep you endlessly busy with what looks urgent but is not important, he wins. If he can fill your schedule with noise, your mind with entertainment, your heart with comparisons, he knows you will bury your destiny under layers of wasted years. Distraction is subtle because it often feels harmless. What is wrong with a little indulgence? What harm is there in endless scrolling, constant noise, or the pursuit of comfort? Yet over time, these small diversions accumulate, draining your strength like a slow leak in a vessel. Days slip into months, months into years, and one day you awaken to realize you never planted the seed God placed in your hand. The tragedy is not that you rebelled openly, but that you allowed yourself to drift silently away from the shore of purpose. Scripture reminds us that even great men were undone, not by weakness alone, but by distraction. Samson's strength was not destroyed on the battlefield, but in the lap of Delilah. Solomon, wise beyond measure, lost focus through the allure of foreign pleasures. They were not crushed suddenly. They were led slowly astray. This is the cunning of the adversary, to make you trade destiny for distraction without even noticing the exchange. Chosen one, awaken to this truth. The greatest danger to your purpose is not failure, for failure can teach and redirect. The greatest danger is to be absorbed in what does not matter until the years slip away. Resist the noise. Guard your focus. For your assignment is too sacred to be surrendered to the subtle schemes of distraction. Long before you opened your eyes to the world, the Creator inscribed a design upon your soul. It is not visible on your skin, nor can it be measured by men, but it burns quietly within the depths of your being. This inner blueprint takes the shape of burdens you cannot ignore, desires that rise unbidden, and passions that persist even when the world dismisses them. They are not accidents. They are heaven's fingerprints, reminders of the mission woven into your very essence. Consider the stories of old. Moses could not remain silent when he saw the suffering of his people. Nehemiah could not rest while Jerusalem's walls lay in ruin. Jesus himself was consumed with compassion for the lost sheep of Israel. These burdens were not random emotions. They were divine signals, pointing each one toward the work they were born to complete. In the same way, that stirring in your heart, the cause that keeps you awake at night, the pain that troubles you more than others, is not a weakness. It is a clue. It is a compass guiding you toward your assignment. Alongside these burdens are gifts, skills and abilities you did not choose but were entrusted with. The poet's words, the healer's touch, the leader's vision, the teacher's wisdom, all are tools deliberately placed in the hands of the chosen. To ignore them is to abandon the very map that leads you to your destiny. To embrace them is to align yourself with the Creator's design, walking in harmony with the reason for which you were sent. Yet many wander aimlessly because they seek their purpose in the mirror of society. They ask the world who they are, and the world answers with shallow labels. But only the one who made you holds the original design, and he has hidden fragments of it in your own soul, waiting for you to pause, to listen, to recognize the pattern. So look within, chosen one. What breaks your heart? What gift flows naturally from your hands? What vision refuses to die, no matter how many times you try to silence it? These are not distractions. They are the voice of eternity echoing inside your mortal frame. Do not ignore them, for they are the blueprint of your divine assignment. Destiny is rarely fulfilled in a single dramatic moment. More often, it unfolds in the quiet rhythm of daily faithfulness. Just as a cathedral is not built in a day but rises stone upon stone, so too your purpose is constructed through ordinary acts of obedience. The grand design of heaven is not achieved by sudden leaps of brilliance, but by consistent steps taken in the same direction, even when no one applauds, even when no one sees. We live in a world that celebrates speed and spectacle. People want results overnight, glory without sacrifice, and recognition without process. Yet heaven's pattern has always been slower, deeper, and more enduring. Abraham waited decades before seeing the promise. David was anointed as king, but returned to tend sheep before he ever touched a throne. Even Christ himself spent 30 years in quiet preparation for 3 years of visible ministry. What does this teach us? That true greatness is not in sudden appearances, but in sustained faithfulness. Every prayer whispered in solitude, every act of kindness unnoticed by men, every decision to choose integrity over compromise. These are the bricks of destiny. They may feel small, almost invisible, but they build the foundation upon which heaven entrusts greater assignments. Without the small steps, the great leap would collapse under its own weight. Do not despise the day of small beginnings. When you open Scripture at dawn, when you resist a temptation in silence, when you speak truth gently into another's life, you are not wasting time. You are shaping eternity. Each step of obedience creates momentum, drawing you closer to the fullness of your calling. The temptation, of course, is to wait for something dramatic, to postpone faithfulness until a stage, a title, or a platform arrives. But destiny is not discovered in applause. It is forged in the secret places where no eyes watch but God's. And when He sees that you are faithful in the little, He entrusts you with the much. So walk steadily, chosen one. Do not measure your worth by sudden outcomes or instant results. Trust that every small act of obedience is a thread in a tapestry far greater than you can imagine. In time, the picture will be revealed, and you will see that no step was wasted. Among all the snares that the enemy sets, few are as deadly and as subtle as delay. Rarely does he whisper, "Abandon your purpose." Instead, he suggests softly, "Tomorrow will be a better day. Wait until you are stronger, richer, more prepared. Begin later when the conditions are perfect." And so the years slip quietly away. Destiny is not stolen with violence, but buried under countless tomorrows that never come. Picture a farmer holding seeds in his hands. The soil is ready, the season is ripe, yet he hesitates. Each day he tells himself, "I will sow tomorrow." Days become weeks, weeks become months, and when the harvest season finally arrives, his fields are barren. It is not because the seed was weak, nor because the soil was unworthy, but because delay hardened the ground until the moment was lost forever. This too is how many chosen ones live, full of potential, yet empty-handed at the time of harvest. Procrastination wears the mask of wisdom. It convinces you that waiting is prudence, that postponement is preparation. But in truth, it is often fear in disguise. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping into the unknown. The enemy knows that if he can keep you waiting, he does not need to defeat you. You will defeat yourself by never beginning. Scripture reminds us that life itself is fragile and uncertain. "The night is coming when no one can work," said Christ, urging his followers to labor while it is day. Tomorrow is not promised. The graveyard is full of unwritten books, unsung songs, and unfulfilled callings, dreams that died not because they were impossible, but because they were delayed until the season was gone. So hear this, chosen one. Perfection is an illusion. There will never be a moment when everything aligns neatly, when all fears vanish, when the path is free of risk. The only perfect time to begin is now. Sow your seed while breath still fills your lungs. Step into your calling today, not when it feels convenient. For every day you delay, a piece of your destiny slips further from reach. When the final chapter of your life is written, heaven will not weigh how many people applauded you, nor how impressive your achievements appeared to men. It will ask a single, eternal question. Did you finish the work entrusted to you? All else, wealth, recognition, comfort, will dissolve like mist in the morning sun. Only obedience endures. Only faithfulness speaks beyond the grave. It is not enough to begin well. The world is full of stories of those who started with fire, but ended in ashes. Heaven crowns not the starters, but the finishers. The Apostle Paul, near the end of his days, did not boast of miracles or sermons. Instead, he declared with quiet triumph, "I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith." That is the measure of true greatness. To cross the finish line carrying the purpose given to you, unshaken by the distractions that sought to pull you away. Imagine a king who assigns his servants specific tasks, one to build a bridge, another to plant a vineyard, a third to establish laws. If, upon his return, he finds that each servant has done something impressive yet different from what he commanded, will he rejoice? No. Their labor, however beautiful, is rebellion disguised as productivity. In the same way, heaven is not impressed by how much you have done, but by whether you have done what you were called to do. And yet, this truth is not meant to crush you. It is meant to liberate you. You are not required to carry every burden, solve every problem, or achieve what others celebrate. You are required only to be faithful to your assignment. That is the path to peace, the secret to fulfillment, and the only road to eternal joy. So, chosen one, lift your eyes. Shake off distraction, delay, and doubt. Fix your gaze on the finish line that eternity has drawn for you. Run with endurance, not for the applause of men, but for the crown that does not fade. And when the race is done, may you hear those words that echo louder than all earthly praise. Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your Lord.